Hello and welcome back to When I Knew You. We will be continuing where we left off, which, if you recall, is after Callum and Marcus finally had their moment in the closet. While I wouldn't say that Baxter had masterminded this completely, he definitely had a hand in getting Marcus and Callum to finally have their little moment, their little yeah, we like each other. And I think it's safe to say that most everyone already knows or knew that the two of them liked each other. So for the most part, everyone's going to be like, well, finally. However, I think the only person that may have an issue with this is Karina, because she will confess to Callum that she liked Marcus. And there goes Callum making out with the guy that she likes. Anywho, aside from that though, something interesting happened though. Callum got some more information about David from Adrian, his new, I guess you could call him partner in crime at the newspaper club place, who told him a bit more information about David, the fact that David apparently was very abrasive, which is something that he already knew kind of, but it's a bit more than just like, oh well, like some people were finding, or he was just like aggressive with some people on the football team. Like, no, apparently he was not somebody that you would want to talk to in general, somebody that you would want to have to interact with, and that seems to be the sentiment that's also shared by Baxter, where apparently on the football team, David was very... He would rub you the wrong way eventually. But yeah, so Callum gets more and more information that David is not the person that he knew. But considering the little information that we have from, I guess, Callum's dream, it doesn't seem like much of a leap from how he was then to how he is now, because it kind of seemed more like the natural progression. At least for me. But whatever. So, we're actually about to see something very important now, which is information having to do with Callum's mother. And I should warn you right now that it does have to deal with one of the other things that you're finding out about David, which is his abuse of certain substances. And about mistreatment related to a parent mistreating their child and not accepting them. So yeah, content warning. Anywho, so without further ado, let us continue When I Knew You. Also, this will be a short update. Well, this is a shorter chapter compared to the other ones, so yeah. Ma, I'm home. I step into the apartment, expecting to hear the familiar Spanish chord program that I can never seem to be able to keep up with. But it's quiet. Nothing but the tick-tock of the clock on the wall that always drove me nuts. Ma? I set my backpack down and check the bathroom, but she's not there either. Is she sleeping? She never sleeps in the afternoon. I decide to check her room, fully expecting to see her there. Empty. Guess she's out then. I stretch lazily and head towards my room, the darkness of the apartment lulling me to sleep. Well... Ma? My voice echoes through the small room, my stomach turning to ice as I see her silhouette laid carelessly on the floor. I stay frozen in place, shudders passing through my body in never-ending waves. No, not like this. Not now. My legs move closer to her and kneel down. I look at her unmoving body. Dried up vomit spews from her mouth. Her eyes are rolled back in her skull, the white parts tainted a sickening yellow. I stare at her like this, my brain unable to form a single thought, but despite my fear, my hand moves to the tip of her nose, almost out of instinct. Air. She's breathing. Tears roll down my cheeks, and before long, I'm sobbing uncontrollably. I painfully realize in that moment that the tears aren't from relief. The hospital is cold and dull. The ceiling light makes my eyes burn more than they already did. A slow, numbing pain completely envelops me, and a mix of different thoughts flood my brain, trying to figure out what exactly I should be feeling right now. A familiar tick-tock of a clock sounds, and I look up at it. 3 a.m. I've been here almost 10 hours then. And yet, I'm not sleepy. I can't imagine sleeping again, like ever. The future is a messy blur right now, a foreign, scary concept that I do not want to begin to think about. Even so, my mind only allows one thought to resonate again and again. What am I going to do? The numbness that I felt from the past 10 hours starts to be replaced by a growing worry, and I feel myself start to shudder. What the hell? What the fuck am I supposed to do now? Where am I supposed to go? Callum? I look up at the voice who called for me, bringing back thousands of memories in 1 second. Dad? He's here. He's exhausted and upset. But here. Callum. He opens his arms, inviting me to go into them, what he always used to do when I was upset. And despite the fact that I haven't seen him in a whole year, despite the fact that he left me alone with Mom and how I resented him for it, I don't give hugging him a second thought. I fling myself to him, and he hugs me as tightly as I hug him, the pressure of his arms filling me with the warmth and assurance. It sucks the remaining numbness out of me and squeezes out all of my sadness in 1 second, feeling my cheeks moisten with streams of tears falling onto them. Dad, I didn't know. I didn't know she was on that. I thought it was just... Hey, you don't have to explain yourself. It's not your fault, Callum. He pulls me away to face him, his eyes watery and red, on the verge of tears, but they never fall down. You hear me? Don't blame yourself for any of this. Through sobs and chokes, all that I could do is half-heartedly nod. His hand goes to the back of my head, and he stares at me with such a deep sadness that I can't even begin to wonder how much this hurts him too. I'm taking you home with me, alright, kid? You're gonna finish school. You're gonna be okay. You'll be with me, alright? I'll be with you, kid. You'll be okay. I promise. It was as if he said exactly what I wanted to hear, what I had hoped that he'd tell me once I saw him there, what I thought that was just wishful thinking. That I'll be going home. That moment in my life passes through my mind in an instant. The numbness, the pain, the fear, and then the hope. All that was almost 2 months ago now, a lifetime and yesterday at the same time. It still hurts, but I need it to. I need to remember how bad things were. A waitress comes over and asks if I'm ready to order. I tell her that I'm waiting for someone. She leaves. It's 10:02. 32 minutes late, so far at least. I try to relax to think about other things in the meantime, like Marcus, our kiss yesterday, how good it felt. How I tricked Karina and kissed her lifelong crush right under her nose. And never mind. The restaurant seems pretty full. Must be because it's Sunday morning, breakfast after church and all that. I remember going to church when I was little. Didn't do me any good, especially the more targeted sermons. Mom always asked if I was paying attention when the preacher said that men shouldn't lay with other men. She always knew that, I guess. And never liked it. Usually she'd ask me out of Dad's earshot though. He and Mom fought a lot over that. He never liked church either, said that there was too much victim blaming, and over-resilience on ulterior powers instead of one's own will and strength, or something along those lines. Mom, however, loved the church. She always lit up once we left, was always extra nice to us for the remainder of the day, no doubt trying to fill the shoes of a good housewife. It made Dad uncomfortable. He always... I sit up straight, my heart beating faster as I see her familiar, ragged figure enter the restaurant. She seems older, more tired than I remember, but maybe healthier? I can never seem to tell if she's doing worse or not. She looks around for a bit, a worried look on her face, but when she spots me, her face relaxes into a warm, gentle smile. It pulls on my heart to think that she'd actually be happy to see me. I wish I was a bit more gullible. I might be able to feel hopeful if I didn't already know what she came here for. She walks over to my table and sits down, her large purse thumping loudly as she sets it on one of the chairs. She's quiet for a moment, fixing her hair and nervously shifting in her chair, and then finally sighs and smiles at me again. Hi, Mijo. Hi, Mom. It's been a while, hasn't it? Tell me how's school? How's Pricefield? Fine. Same as ever. Yeah? Your friends are okay? Miss Parker's still running that bakery? Dad gets some pastries for us on Fridays. I see. And how is he? Like you care. He's fine. Everything's fine. That's good then. Silence falls between us, and I question myself for the 13th time today why I even agreed to meet with her, because, shockingly, I really do not want to talk to her. She knows it too, with my short, sentence-ending responses, but she looks like she's trying not to let that get to her. The sudden change must have been difficult. I'm sure you miss our apartment. Not really. Oh? That's a bit of a half-truth. I've gotten homesick at times, but I think that's just from the change in routine. No way in hell had I'd miss how my life was when I lived there. Well, your father's house is bigger, and you did take all your stuff with you. Speaking of, what happened to all our stuff? She takes a sip from the water bottle that she pulled out of her purse and smiles casually. She's acting like it's just some random question she's only mildly curious about. She's always sucked at being subtle. Don't know. Maybe you should ask the landlord. You didn't take anything? Nothing of yours. Everything in that house was mine, Alexander. She called me by my middle name like she always does, with that Spanish accent of hers, insisting on using it because it was the one that she chose for me. I stare at her blankly, trying to calm the anger bubbling inside of me as I idly tug at my sweater sleeve. I could give you back my backpack and clothes then, if you want. Ay, Jesus, don't be ridiculous. You know that's not what I meant. She scowls at me, one look I'm quite familiar with, so I'm able to shrug it off easily. Well, that's all that I took, Ma. Sorry. It's fine, Mijo. I'm not here for that anyway. Sure you're not. I'm here so that we can go back to Philly. What? You can finish your high school, get your degree, a good job. There are really good scholarship programs. I've heard that. No. Okay? No. I'm not going with you. Ay, mijo. Listen, I know that I've made my mistakes in the past, but that won't happen again. I've been clean for 2 months now, and I plan on keeping it that way. I swallow hard, wondering if that's actually true or not. That's great, Ma, but I'm not going back to Philadelphia with you. Pero mijo, you belong with me, with your mother. I'm supposed to take care of you. Your father isn't always going to be there for you like I will. My father has been there for me more times than you have. How can you say that? After everything that I've done for you, after everything that he did to me. Her voice rises in desperation and a look of absolute pain and hurt crosses through her entire face. He hit me, Alexander. You were there when he did it. Yeah, I was. About 4 years ago, it was a school night I remember. They were arguing, much like they always did those last few months when they were together. Mom was drunk, which wasn't unusual. Dad was exhausted. We had just finished dinner. The dishes and silverware were still at the table. I'm not sure why or what drove her to do it, but I remember she grabbed a knife and threatened to stab him. She stepped near him. He grabbed her and pushed her back. She hit the edge of the table and fell hard on the floor. That night, Dad left. He went to a motel and spent the whole night there. Mom let me sleep in her bed for the first time in years. She hugged me tightly and sobbed hard on my back, muttering between tears how she never wanted this to happen. For her husband to turn out like her father. They got divorced soon after. Mom filed a case for domestic violence and had me testify. The evidence was stacked in her favor. She won. She also got custody of me. My image of Dad was obscured after that. Mom kept telling me that he was an abuser, a monster. But whenever I saw him in court, he looked so dejected, so upset, so hurt. The day that I left for Philly, he hugged me. He told me that he loved me no matter what had happened between us. And I remember that he said that he was sorry. I remember that that was the only time that I ever saw him cry. I used to be on her side, but as I grew older, I saw everything for what it really was. You're not a victim. What? You threatened him with a knife and he pushed you back. He defended himself. You made me believe that he was some abuser, but you were a drunk who put his and my life at risk. He hit me. How could you defend him, Mijo? What do you want from me? Huh? Why the fuck do you want me to go back to Philly with you? Language, Alex. My name's Callum. Answer my question, ma. Firstly, do not talk to me that way. I'm your mother, and you owe me respect. ¿Entendiste? And why else, mijo? To make things right. To give you a better future than this small town. You get government help there. ¿Cómo se llama? Financial aid? And you could get good scholarships in 2 years when you enter college, and then 1 year. Huh? 1 year. I'll enter college next August. Pero, si tienes 16. I'm 17. 18 on the 23rd. You're turning 18 this month? Yes. I frown at her surprised look, and she looks down at the table, a look of confliction on her. The hell? Wouldn't this be good news for her? She'd be able to get rid of me quicker, right? Oh. Realization hits me as I look at her innocent expression, and although I try hard not to let the tears swell up, they eventually fall down my cheeks. You just wanted the financial aid money, didn't you? Alex, how could you say... Do you think that I'm fucking stupid? Language, you never wanted me to be with you. From the very beginning, you hated having me around. The only reason that you took care of me was because you got stuck with custody after Dad was charged, and when you got the financial aid, you thought that it was all well and good, didn't you? Alex, you think that I didn't realize how much you hate being a mother, how little you care? I thought if I did well in school, and if I was good, you'd like me. You'd actually be happy with a son like me. But no, none of that matters, does it? That means shit if I'm a doesn't it? Baja la voz. She glances around, embarrassed and upset. How can you say that so shamelessly? ¿No te da vergüenza? Saying it like you're proud of it. Do you want me to be ashamed, ma? Are you embarrassed that your son is gay? Cállate. How am I not gonna be embarrassed? You think that that's something to be happy about? That you're going against his will? And do you think that I'm not embarrassed? If you were, you'd try and change, Alexander. No. No, not about me. About you. Why would you be embarrassed of me? What? 'Cause you're a fucking crackhead, Mom. Don't you talk to me like that. I could be a devil and you'd still owe me respect because I'm your mother. I stay there, stunned, my right cheek pulsating red and my head throbbing hard. The restaurant has gone quiet, but no one says or does anything, and I quietly sob for a minute as my mother composes herself. I reach for my pocket and pull out a white envelope and place it on the table. Yes, okay. My voice is barely above a whisper when I answer her. What you came for. Before I get to see her open it, I stand up and mutter that I'm going to the bathroom, my steps resonating in the silent restaurant. I wash my face slowly and methodically, splashing it with the cold water. I grab a paper towel, my trembling hands having a hard time grasping onto it, and I pat my cheeks dry. I had hoped that I wouldn't have to give it to her, but if it'll calm her down, she can have it. The money that I saved up for months. Ma? Hmm? She's at her usual spot on the couch, watching that program of court cases that she loves so much. So on Friday is the seniors' beginning of the year field trip, right? E? And, well, I was wondering if I could go. Alex, you know that we don't have the money for that. Actually, I've been saving up a lot of money this summer, so I almost have enough to go. I just need like $50 more. Wait, what? How have you been getting money? Don't you remember that I got a job at the movie theater? You never told me that. Yes, I did. Uh-huh. And how much do you have then? 400. ¿Cómo? She sits up and starts getting more and more anxious. Yeah. So, you're making that much money and you didn't tell me? No. This is all that I have saved up. So you weren't going to help me with the house expenses? Huh? Es que no vives aquí. Why are you being so selfish? I'm not. Where is it? Where do you have that money? Ma, please. But she's already up, making her way to my bedroom in quick steps as I follow close behind. Aha, dime. Ma. Alexander, look at everything that I've given you. You're really not going to give it to me? But... Well... No, Ma, please. I worked hard for that money. And you think that I don't work hard to feed you? Fine. This is my house, my things. I'll take what I bought. She opens up my dresser and starts grabbing all my clothes, obviously looking to see if she can find my money somewhere there. Ma! I try grabbing her, but she roughly pushes me away, frantically looking for the cash. I stand there nervously looking at her and slowly inching towards my nightstand and grab that one can of Pringles where my cash is. Alex! I quickly put it behind my back and she glares at me with a deep, seething anger. Give it to me. No. Dame eso. No. Ma, please. And suddenly she lunges forward, grabbing me and roughly trying to take the can out of my hand as I yell at her to let me go, but she doesn't relent. She scratches and pulls and eventually throws me to the ground and pries the can out of my tight grip. I look at her, my vision foggy from all the tears welling up in my eyes, and she opens the can, grabbing the money inside. I watch her helplessly as she counts every single bill, and once she's done, she puts it back in the can and glares down at me. You're an ungrateful son. She steps over me and leaves my room, closing the door with a loud slam. The sun slowly starts to set, and I cry myself to sleep on the floor, the orange room illuminating the mess that she left behind. When I packed my things the day that Dad was taking me back, I found that can behind a box in her closet, so obviously I took it. But I knew that she'd want it back. In her eyes, that money was hers. Well, whatever. She can have it. I don't need it. I sigh and step out of the bathroom, expecting to see her slouched figure at our table. But she's gone. Nothing remains, Not any evidence of her ever being there except for a single empty bottle of water on the table. I've called Dad to come pick me up, and after that heartbreaking phone call, I sit on the pavement of the parking lot outside the restaurant, staring at the asphalt. I don't know why I'm so surprised. Of course she'd leave when she got what she wanted. Can you guess what I made today? Tacos? Guess again. It's your favorite food. Chicken dedos? Uh-huh. Yep, chicken dedos. She pets my head softly and smiles. Because you did so well in your tests, you deserve a reward. Yay. What do we say? Thank you, Mommy. Dame un beso, pues. She bends down and I give her cheek a loud kiss. Mwah. My turn. She pushes my hair away and kisses my forehead softly. Ah, bello mi niño. Now go wash up so that we can eat. I press on my eyes hard, trying not to break down like this in public. My eyes burn and my throat feels like sandpaper as I swallow hard. Hey. A voice next to me makes me jump and the slender figure sits next to me on the ground. Moms, I blink at him, bewildered, and his smile fades. Too soon. Callum, what the fuck do you want? Fair. I want to apologize. What? I'm sorry for what I did to you. You didn't deserve that. I thought you did. That you were just some nosy-goody ex that didn't know what he was getting himself into with David. But you do know, don't you? The lady that just bought those pills from Smoke. That was your mom, right? My heart sinks, the name ringing familiar in the worst way that it could. Yeah, she is. I heard the yelling. Can you just please leave me alone? Listen, Callum. I know that you might not want to hear this from me, but I understand what you're going through. You don't owe her shit, got that? And if you insist on knowing more about David, I'll tell you what I know. And trust me when I tell you that you want to hear what I have to say. He stands up and points to where he was sitting, where a note with his numbers on it is in his place. That's my number. I don't care. Better for me then. Not like I want to tell you anything. I still think that you're in over your head with this. But if you do call, I will answer. I'll actually talk this time, not just kiss you. You're disgusting. You like some of it. He walks away and waves goodbye, turning a corner where I can't see him. Fucking weirdo. I shove the note into my pocket and stand up, and just as I'm about to walk over to the sidewalk, Dad's gray sedan pulls up into the parking lot. He parks carelessly and climbs out of the car, walking over to me slowly with a solemn look on his face. Hey, kid. Hi, Dad. Should have told me. I know. I'm sorry. She gone? I nod. And how'd it go? I just shrug. You okay? I nod. Then shake my head no. Oh, kid. He opens his arms and I run over to him, hugging him tightly. I wish that she cared, Dad. I know, kid. I wish that she loved me. Even just a little bit. I know. He rubs my back as I violently sob on his shoulders. I'm sorry that I didn't tell you. It's okay. I get it, kid. Thank you. Thank you, Dad. Yeah. I love you, Callum. I love you too, Dad. Whether you want her in your life or not, I'll love you regardless. Always. I nod, choking on my own tears. Let's go home, okay? I nod again, sniffing loudly. Yeah, let's go. The drive home is quiet and melancholic, my bloodshot eyes unable to produce any more tears. Dad focuses on the road, but his hand is on my thigh in a comforting, parental way. I lay my hand on top of his, and he turns to give me a small smile, squeezing me twice. And through grief and pain, through all the shitty things that she's put me through all of that, I'm still able to return his smile. I sleep in the entire day. Between everything that happened last night and the shit show this morning I fell like a rock and slept till late afternoon. It's nearing sunset when I get a text from Marcus asking if we're still on for tonight at the diner. Although I do consider asking for a rain check, I ultimately do decide to go. Today may have been hell, but I can still salvage the ending. I go downstairs to the living room where I find Dad on the sofa reading a book. Oh, you're up? Sleep well? Well enough, I guess. Going somewhere? He eyes me over, no doubt noticing that I'd showered and dressed up to go out. Marcus invited me to go eat with him? Like, a date? Maybe? He's clearly teasing, but somehow I don't have the energy or desire to lie to anyone tonight. Oh, well then. Is he coming to pick you up, or...? We're meeting up at the diner. You know, I really would like to have a talk with him one of these days. Don't be mean to him, Dad. Just who do you take me for? I just don't know what you're capable of telling him. All I want to do is get to know the kid. It's bad manners to ask someone out without asking the person's parent beforehand. I'll keep that in mind next time that I visit Mr. O'Brien. Well, maybe not him, but... I'll be back by 10. 9:30. Alright. See ya, Dad. Stay safe, kid. The diner. Even though I'm nervous as hell, I have to admire the setting that we're in right now. Confronting my childhood friend on our feelings for each other in a poorly lit diner on a Sunday afternoon. Doesn't get any more romance novel setting than this. I enter the small restaurant, and in an instant I see Marcus's large back sitting in one of the booths, and with a skipping heart, I quickly approach him. Carefully, I slide into the opposite booth before he sees me, and once I'm in there, he finally notices me, his ears perking up happily. Cal? Marcus? Hey. Hiya. How was your day? Oh, yikes. Bad, actually. Oh, seriously? Yeah, I had breakfast with my mom at the Waffle House outside of town. Oh god. Yeah, she slapped me in public. I chuckle sheepishly to lighten the blow, but Marcus looks at me, appalled. What the fuck? Why? 'Cause I called her a crackhead. I mean, she is, though. Yeah, but she'll never admit to it. What a fucking bitch. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't... Nah, it's okay. She's a huge bitch. She took some money that I had saved up, made her leave real quick. Man, I'm sorry, Cal. That sounds... just fucking awful. It was, kinda. But it's over now, so I'm good. Are you sure? We don't have to do this right now if you're not up to it. What? No, I'm fine, Marcus. You don't make me wait anymore. He chuckles nervously, shaking his head defensively. I'm not. I'm just... Are you okay talking about this? I'm fine. I stand up and walk to his side of the booth, and motion for him to scooch over, and although a little confused, he does and I sit next to him. Before I can chicken out, I wrap my arms around his right one, and I feel him tensing up next to me. Well then. So, how was your day? It was good. Not much. I see. Yeah. Is this weird? Us being like this? A little bit, yeah. Weird bad? No. Weird really good, but still weird. Yeah, kinda, huh? You know what we should do? What? Go on a date. Are you asking me out? Maybe. Fuck. I wanted to do it. Snooze you lose. So, date? Yeah, just you and me, with the purpose of seeing if we're compatible. That's what a date is, Cal. That's what I said. True. Sounds good to me. Tomorrow? We have school tomorrow. After school, Cal. Oh yeah, alright then. Then it's settled. He slowly slides his hand on my thigh, smiling at me, and I grip onto his arms a little bit tighter as my heart skips a beat. Yeah, it is. Are you sure that you don't want to ride home? It's freezing. His breath forms tiny fog clouds when he speaks, and I silently take note that it'll finally start getting colder soon. Yeah, I'll be fine, don't worry. Truth is, I'm 100% sure that my dad would make him come in and have his chat with Marcus right there and then. If you say so. I lean on his truck and he does the same, looking at me quietly. Marcus? Yes? Last night, how drunk were you? Why? Just answer. Well, not too drunk. I wasn't shit-faced, if that's what you're asking. I see. Why? He smiles with a cockiness that I know a bit too well at this point, and I look away from him. I don't know, just curious, I guess. Did you think that I wasn't gonna remember last night, Cal? I drove you home. I know, that wasn't what I, just forget it. Nah, come on, what do you want to know? Did you confess to me because you were drunk? The alcohol helped, I guess, to, be a little bit more confident. That's not the cause of my confession, though. Right, yeah. Sorry, that was a little dumb. He gives a little chuckle and steps closer to me, making me look up to see his face. What? Don't tell me that you think that I can't say it sober. I raise my eyebrows and look at him coyly. Can you? He cups my face with his hands and leans in close, speaking softly. I like you, Callum. I want us to be together. Guess you can say it. Told ya. You should see how red you are right now. It's really cold. Right. Hey. Can you kiss me? We're doing this really out of order, huh? You don't wanna? Oh, I wanna. I'm just surprised at how bold you're being. Well, we've waited long enough, haven't we? That we have. And through chuckles and cold, rosy cheeks, Marcus kisses me softly, his body pinning me to the side of his truck. A kiss that holds bottled up feelings and sober emotions, but most of all, a kiss that holds a promise of the start of something better. And that's where I'm gonna leave it for today. So like I said, this was gonna be a short chapter, but yeah. And like I said, this was gonna both introduce the mom and also talk about some pretty heavy stuff. Hopefully I don't have to censor any of that for YouTube. But this parallels a lot of what is happening with the situation with David. Not so much about the whole accepting thing, but more so the mom's personality. And for I guess you could say Hispanic, Hispanic. That is a very Hispanic mom way to react and behave. But I mean, I only say that because I have firsthand experience with that. And not firsthand experience, no. More like this is something that you can see a lot in the Latin American culture. Yeah, culture, let's say culture. Where typically the parents, both the dad and the mom, will behave like this. They'll be like, oh, well, I gave you everything. Everything that I bought for you is mine. It's not actually yours. The clothes on your back, that's mine. That's not yours. I'm just, like, sure, I bought it for you and you're the one that's wearing it, but like, come on, it's mine. I bought it with my money. And like, even with good parents, they'll still say that. Again, it's not just a Hispanic or a Latin, whatever you want to call it, parenting. Like you'll still see it like in other types of families, or but still, it is a very prevalent thing in our I want to say culture. Yeah, let's say culture. But yeah. Now, another thing though that is sort of paralleled between David and Callum's mom is the abuse of certain things, certain substances. I have to be very careful with what I say for YouTube, okay? And I say that because it is something that is being highlighted, okay? So it's not really a spoiler. It's sort of this is something that he has dealt with, and it's something that he's going to have to probably come to terms with, because like, even when everyone is telling him like, oh yeah, he abused that type of stuff, he was doing these things, etc., he's behaving erratically, he's having like these mood swings, etc., those are all sort of like hallmarks of substance abuse. And like, Callum was seeing it with his mom, and everyone else was seeing it with David. So I think he's sort of having that he is having, or he is going to be having, that sort of realization that what he had to deal with his mom is probably what happened with David. And maybe that will have to be something that he's gonna have to talk to Lupe about, whether or not they find David. But yeah, it's gonna be very unfortunate. I can't really talk about the experience with that type of thing with people because I've never had to experience that, but like ugh. What else? It's good now that Callum is not in that toxic environment, that he has the supportive parent. Not only that, but he's back with his friends. He's back in a safe environment. Not a lot of people have that. Depending on where you live. Like, I know that half of my viewers are from the United States, and especially with what's going on now, like, depending on where you live, it has become precipitously more dangerous. for people like Callum. So hopefully you guys have some people in your life that are your safe space and that can protect you. And hopefully those safety nets for people such as yourself do still exist, and don't hesitate to try to reach out to them if you feel in danger. Yeah. But yeah. And if you have, if you're battling with a certain type of thing similar to Callum's mom, but you want to get better, you don't want to end up like her, then there are places, there are people that you can talk to hopefully help with that. Yeah. Anyway, so write down in the comments what you think, and thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play it when I knew you, you can do so by going down into the link in the description, where you can find a direct link for the itch.io page where you can download the game and play it, or one of the author's other visual novels. And if you would like to support the author and all their endeavors, all their storytelling endeavors, you can do so by going down to the other link for their Patreon, where you can get early access to builds of whatever visual novel they're working on at the time. And right now, again, as I've said before with all the other videos, they have not yet finished the other visual novel that I'm reading by them. But hopefully they will finish it soon. Hopefully. Not before it's too late. And if you subscribe to their Patreon, you may get early access to that final build before everyone else does. But yeah. Anywho, all my other links, down in the description, my Ko-fi in case you want to, support me through Ko-fi, or my channel member link in case you want to become a channel member and watch these videos ahead of time as they're being scheduled. And my throne in case you want to, buy me something. It allows you to buy me actually something randomly from Amazon. So if you're like, hey, this hyena would like this thing from Amazon that I saw, and I have the expendable income to buy them that, I will buy them that, and it will randomly, well, not randomly, it'll mysteriously show up at my house. Although I think it's only safe things, so like don't think like, oh, I'm gonna buy them this prank gift. Like, no, you won't. You won't be able to. What else? But I do have some stuff there that I would like. There is a giant Yin plush. It's a striped Yin. Anyways, but yeah, so like there's no pressure. You don't have to buy me anything actually. Anyways, but yeah, so if you like the video, like it. Subscribe to the channel if you want. It helps the channel when you do these things. Especially if you, like, let's say that if you reach this part of the video, then give it a like, subscribe to the channel, etc, etc. But yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.